Thank you, sir.
But I'm confident that the minister will tell us where those monies will come from in order
Well-
to ensure that.
Well, Mr. Speaker,
But
he did
if
open...
there is no allocation here, technically we can't prosecute.
No problem. Thank you, sir.
Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
So when
Honourable member,
we come to the other program, he'll be free
Yes.
to ask his question.
Honorable Member, Mr. Manza Walton Desir.
Mr. Speaker, and again, I'm not sure if you'll allow it, given what you just said, but it comes off of what Bishop Edgell just mentioned, that there moves afoot to acquire the bridge. I'm wondering whether the Honourable Minister could tell us exactly where are those negotiations. Is this an initial thought that they're having? Are there negotiations to do this advanced? Where exactly are we in terms of that idea that the government has?
Let us wait until we hear from the Minister for the Law. Right? Okay. Honorable Member, Mr. Mahipal.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, the same line item for the statutory body Transport and Harbors Department. Sir, on the maintenance of infrastructure, sorry, not maintenance of infrastructure, fuel and lubricant. This is, can the Honorable Bishop guide us in terms of this $1.5 billion? If this caters for fuel for the vessels that are plying the Essequibo River, the two Chinese boat, Malali and the others, and the Hercules, the MV Hercules. My interest is more in the MV Hercules, sir.
Honorable Minister.
Mrs. Chairman, the honorable member is aware that the Transport and Harbors Department subsidizes or is subsidized by the government of Guyana. It has been like that for a very, very long time. If we were to charge the real fares, it would have been more costly for commuters. So the subsidy comes in the area of fuel. So to that, it is in the affirmative. But if you specifically want something on the Hercules, could you please inquire? Because you say you want something specifically in the Hercules.
Yes, sir. May I ask the Honorable Minister, what is the fuel cost that is associated directly with the MV Hercules? And I can understand, sir, that it will fluctuate based on the amount of trips, but given that we have had the boat for a year or more, I'm guessing an estimated cost can be given.
Well, Mr. Chair, Mr. Mahipal asked the question, he answered it himself. So I don't know if I
The
need to
sum,
proceed
the
with
sum, sir, the sum cost.
He asked about the amount of fuel the Hercules is using, and the answer is depending on the amount of trips.
So may I ask for last year usage, if the Honorable Minister can tell us how much money was used for fuel consumption of the MV Hercules?
I'm a little bit reluctant to examine monies in last year because we're dealing with this year. And for me, I would allow if you ask him, what is a good estimate based on what you spent last year?
Thank you, sir. What is a good estimate based on what you spent last year for this year's expenditure on fuel and lubricant for the MV Hercules?
Mr. Chair, the Transport and Harbors Department is the owner of several vessels, most of them aged, and we're now restocking with newer vessels. And based upon what we see in terms of the information is available, whether it's the Hercules or the Sabanto, the Canoan, or whatever, there is no disparity in the consumption of fuel depending on the size of engine and the trips that they are making. So the Hercules fuel consumption is not a liability to the transport of harvest because of its excessive fuel consumption. That does not exist. We don't see that. So if that is where the concern lies, I could assure you that in the management of the affairs of the Transport and Harvest Department, we are looking at our engines. So we got boats that are doing longer journeys, like the MV Militia that goes out to the northwest. Of course, they will burn more fuel, but you're looking at distance and time. You have boats that go down to Bartica. You have the boats that go all the way into Port Kaituma, the Barima, the Kimbia. So that is being managed. There is no excessive movement. But if you want an exact amount of how much liters went into the Hercules for all the trips that it made for 2025, those are numbers that are in the accounting records of the Transport and Harvest Department. And I can tell you, the Hercules burned $73,471,200 worth of fuel for 2025 in that area.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, may I ask the Honorable Minister, reference to wages and salary, how much from this allocated sum is catered for the staff that operate the MV Hercules, the captain, the sailor, and the total amount of staff reference to this specific boat, the MV Hercules?
Mr. Chairman, none of the government subsidy is used for the payment of staff. In 2020, when I assumed the office as Minister of Public Works, this House would recall that the Transport and Harvest Department was in shambles where salaries was concerned. They did not pay PAYE for the workers. They did not pay NIS for the workers. They did not even pay the union dues to the unions to the workers. We have since been able to turn around this entity. We are up to date with our PAYE. We are up to date with the NIS. We are up to date with our union dues. And we continue to pay staff in a timely manner every month for all the vessels that are operated in this fleet.
Sir, thank you. May I ask a follow-up?
May I ask you to give way to the Honorable Swetnam, because we only have an hour on this head. And she is in my blind spots, so she had her mic on for a little while.
Thank you, sir. Can I
Okay,
come back
give you
with
one more. Give you
the follow-up? Thank you. The one follow-up, sir. The captain for MV Hercules and the other staff for MV or Hercules, are they staff members of the Ministry of Public Works, Transport and Harvest Department?
They are contracted in an operation arrangement with the Transport and Harvest Department. There's a contract for the operations of the MV Hercules.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
The staff of the Transport and Harvest Department are on the establishment.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member, Ms. Swetnam.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My question pertains to line items 6281 and 6302. And please allow me, seeing I'm in your blind spot, to just ask the questions for these two line items. For line item 6281, can the Honorable Minister please clarify the reason for the increase in security services for almost 13 million? And if he's at liberty to disclose who the contracts are awarded to?
Mr. Chair, it's a $13 million increase. And this is in keeping with rates. There are salaries that have been increased, and it has to do with billings. All that has happened is that salaries have gone up.
And the follow-up,
Go ahead,
is the
Honorable
Minister at liberty to disclose who are the firms?
We have several. We have the Special Constabulary Force. We have Elite. We have RK. And Sheriff Security.
Thank you. And for line item 6302, can the Honorable Minister please state the nature of the training to be done, the target audience, and the intended output and impact of the training?
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chair, I would have appreciated if the honorable member would have said, would this be sufficient to do training? The Ministry of Public Works is a highly skill-intensive ministry. Engineers, technicians, project management, people, and we have to keep people at the cutting edge, dealing with new technologies and being up to date with all that is happening. So we are basically here just dealing with our people, whether it's in the audit department, bringing upskilling, and dealing with the various technologies. This is a wide range, management and everything else.
Mr. Chair, if I
Go
look
ahead.
at the performance development statements here, it does show that in 2025 that the projected number of persons to be trained, the targets were not met, and only 90% of the expected outputs were completed, hence the reason for my question on the training.
But, Mr. Chair,
Thank you.
if anyone sits in the seat of management and you accomplish 90% of training while keeping your operations continuing, that's a very, very successful year. Because a lot of times you can have training planned and people to send on training, but you have national development priorities that some of the very same people who have to go on training have to address. A number of my senior officers here were supposed to go overseas to training. Cabinet papers prepared, financing available, but because of national development priorities, they were not able to go. We want them to go, but we have to be able to manage with that. So 90% is a good score.
Thank you, Minister.
Honorable Member, Mr. Mahipal.
Thank you very much for your kind consideration, sir. Sir, if I may take back the Honorable Minister to the MV Hercules. The Minister was kind enough to say that there's a contracted arrangement between the Transport and Harbors Department and a contractor for the operation of the MV Hercules. May I ask the Honorable Minister, what is the contracted sum that is for the MV Hercules, and if it's monthly or by trip?
Honorable Minister.
Yes, sir. The Hercules, which is a tugboat that we bought, of which Mr. Mahipal is very well familiar with, was a boat that we had to bring into operation to ensure that Mr. Mahipal did not come to this house to complain about the lack of service for the people of Region 2 and Region 3 and Wakenham and Legwan.
And the boat went down 4 months.
We were having a greater demand than the capacity of transport and harbors. You would have heard that when we launched the boat, the MV Kawanaruk 1899, we spoke about the large tonnage of that we moved, the amount of vehicles, the amount of passengers. And in the first instance, when the MV Hercules was taken on board, it was operated by the Transport and Harbors Department staff. We had some challenges, and as a way of ensuring that we did not have a real crisis, the people who were more familiar with the engines and the generators and the operators were engaged to operate the boat. And that works out to be about 400,000 or thereabout per day
Thank
for the
you.
operation of the boat.
Honorable Member, Ms.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mahipal.
Mr. Chairman, may I ask the Honorable Minister the name of the contracting firm that we have engaged with to provide this service?
Marine Inc.
Marine Inc. May I ask, Mr. Chairman, is this not the same company that we bought this boat from?
As Mr. Mahipal is aware, the answer is yes.
And may I ask the Honorable Minister, I didn't think the question was answered the last time, if he can provide us with the sum of money, because the purchase did wasn't concluded the last
What?
time we examined this.
What
Honorable
wasn't
Minister,
concluded?
we are now entering into an area which I have to provide some guidance to the Honorable Member. So we have to reflect price of that vessel in this, right? So the sums before us, the Minister could be asked questions to defend that and policy, right? If there are issues, is that the same boat we bought? I don't know where we're going. So let us come back to this. It's unfair to everybody else who has questions on 6 other heads for us to go down that road. We're already in the hour. We started at 2:13. We are 2:34. 21 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just your guidance. Sir, I did open the question on the allocated sum, and based on the answers the Honorable Bishop is providing, it's for me, and your guidance is necessary, the follow-up from what he has indicated. And he indicated, sir, that there's a contracted sum of 400,000 for the company, Marine Inc. and Transport and Harbors. He also indicated that it's the same company we bought the boat from that we have already
As in response to that
contracted.
question you asked.
Yeah, and I was like,
Yeah, so you're going down the wrong road.
so may I have one other follow-up, sir?
Go ahead.
Sir, I just want to know what is the sum that we purchased the boat for?
Not included in this, but if you want to answer, Honorable Minister, please, you
Miss-
can.
Mr. Chair, I answered that question last year.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, I did.
The transaction wasn't completed, sir. That's
Thank
what
you
he
very much,
indicated.
Honorable Minister. Honorable members, I now put the question that the sum stated for Agency 31. Honorable Member Mr. Mahipal, you have a very, very good manner. After you finish your prosecution and other people speaking, you still carry on a conversation. But, good. You're finished when I recognize someone else or when I'm ready to put the question. Honorable members, I put the question that the sum stated for Agency 31, Program 311, current expenditure stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against say no. Ayes have it, the sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Let us turn to page 526. And I propose the question that the sum stated for Agency 31, Program 311, Capital, stands part of the estimates. Honorable Member, Mr. Psycho Andrews.
Mr. Chair, Government Office Complex. So I noticed that the entire project amongst the $19.6 billion. Guyana Green Builders was awarded a contract for $15.5 billion. My question to the Honorable Minister, and so far, inclusive of the 2026 allocation, we would probably run into a disbursement of $16.6 billion. If I pit that against the contract, that's over the contract sum. So my question to the Honorable Minister is, can he explain the difference between the contract and the total sum of the project, And also, if the amount that is disbursed as of 2026, inclusive of the 2026 allocation, if all went to Caribbean Green Builders.
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chair, I will guide the honorable member in understanding that this contract has a sum. There's a supervisory contract that is not part of this contract sum.
Mr. Chair, it says here, provision includes provision for office complex. There is no indication in this sum anything for supervisory services. So my question is, the project is 19 plus billion. Caribbean Builders were awarded a contract for 15.8 billion. Inclusive of the 2026 allocation, it comes up to 16.6 billion. I'm trying to get an understanding of the difference. One, the difference between the 19 billion, which is the project sum, and the contract awarded, and also the amounts that are disbursed, which is over the contract amount. Is this $16.6 billion going to Caribbean Builders? And if yes, can you explain?
Honorable Minister.
You should try that elsewhere.
Honorable
Mr. Andrews,
Yes,
the
sir.
contract sum remains 15 point whatever billion. Any difference is for the supervisory consultancy overseeing the same project. It's two different contracts. It's the same operation, two different contracts. You have Caribbean Green Builders, there's a construction, there's a design build. Then you have a supervisory firm that is overseeing, which is the FIDIC engineer.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable members, I now put a question.
I have a
Go ahead, Honorable.
And besides that, in this sum, 1.5 billion is for other projects on government buildings, capital buildings that are happening around. So all of this is not Caribbean Green Builders.
Thank you, sir. Maybe I should have asked you to disaggregate, and
Yes.
maybe we could have gotten it.
Yes.
But in moving forward, this very project, there is a provision for a helipad.
Yes, sir.
So I wanted to, if the minister would be so kind to explain to us what justifies the need for a helipad. Is it that the office of the president will be moved to that building? Is it the office of the prime minister, those high-ranking government officials? Why would we need a helipad? Just for clarification, sir.
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This office complex, 4 towers, 12 stories, will house 6,000 government workers. It will see the coming together of several ministries. I know the Ministry of Public Works will be there. I don't know if the Office of the Prime Minister plans to come, but the Ministry of Public Works will be there, and other agencies that fall under the Ministry of Public Works. It will have the capacity for 6,000. With 6,000 people being present, parking, emergency evacuation, standby power for utilities. This would carry with it its own well, its own, to provide water for a certain amount of days, electricity in case there is a fallback. It's a city that you're putting in place, a mini city that you're putting in place. So you would like it when it's done, and I'm sure you'd enjoy the services that come out of there. That will be close to you anyhow.
I must say, Mr. Chair,
Go ahead, Honorable.
that the building looks very pretty. But the question here is the justification of the helipad. In Georgetown, we have hundreds of thousands of people living in the city. And with all of the monies we're spending on 4-lane roads, I'm very hard pressed to understand the need for a helipad for emergency evacuation. What happens to all of the other hundreds of thousands of persons when they need emergency? Do they fly with their cars? They're using the same 4-lane roads that we've invested in. So it's a substantial amount, I'm sure, that is going to that. So I just need for the
There
public...
is no substantial amount that is going into a helipad, sir.
You don't?
There is no substantial
I'm aware,
amount that is going into a helipad.
because what you may...
Why did we build the office of the president at Vicinton Road with a helipad on the top?
That's the office of the president.
The office of the president at Vicinton Road, which was built many, many years ago, before modernization as we have it now,
Yes.
had a helipad there.
Mr. Speaker,
Honorable members, I think we have an answer from the minister. The standing orders don't say that the minister has to give questioners the answers they want to hear. He has to justify his expenditure. Honorable members, I now put a question that the sum stated for Agency 31, Program 311, capital expenditure stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. Let us turn to pages 176 and 177. And I propose the question that the sum stated for Agency 31, Program 312, Public Works, current expenditure, stands part of the estimates. Honorable Member, Mr. Saiku Andrews.
thank you, Mr. Chair. So at line item 6252, I noticed a significant increase in this allocation for maintenance of bridges. Can the minister confirm, can the honorable member confirm, or can the honorable member say what is the major bridge that has allowed this sum to climb to this amount for maintenance purposes?
Honorable Minister.
So, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. The honorable member is now in the area where he's trying to find out what is the major bridge that is to be maintained. So, under this line item is where the monies have been appropriated for the payment of the tolls for the bridges that have to be paid. And this sum that is appropriated and the operational expenses. For example, all the staff from the Mackenzie-Wisma Bridge is now in the employ of the Ministry of Public Works. And the full maintenance of all 3 bridges in Linden is now with the Ministry of Public Works. All the staff from the Demerara Harbor Bridge is now with the Ministry of Public Works. And if you would have studied your documents carefully, and I see that you've been doing some reading, you will realize that some of this is moving towards moving the bridge to the locations that have been publicly announced, and it has to be operated and maintained. And with the Berbice River Bridge, we have to pay the tolls up to a particular time, by which we hope all the negotiations will be completed and it becomes the property of the Ministry of Public Works, Government of Guyana Ministry of Public Works, and the Ministry of Public Works will have to maintain everything at the Berbice River Bridge as well. So that is why we have this sum that is here.
Thank you, Minister.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Andrews.
Mr. Chair, so last year, this was under subsidies. This year, it's under maintenance. At face value, you assume that if we're going to take on maintenance of the Berbice Bridge, it means that we would own the Burbis Bridge. Can the minister say how far along are these negotiations for us to acquire this asset, one, and in acquiring this asset, what is the ballpark figure we expect? Because my knowledge says that the contract, the concession agreement is supposed to come to an end in 2027. So if we're going to negotiate to own this asset, what is the ballpark figure that we anticipate we are willing to pay 1 year in advance for this project, for this asset?
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chair, at this particular time, the reason why the money is on the maintenance of bridges, because this money will not be handed to a company. This money will be with the ministry that would have to operate the bridge. So that's why it's properly placed here. The Burbis Bridge, and I don't want to use this opportunity to make announcements. I want to use this opportunity to inform the House that the government of Guyana is on its way, finalizing all the I's and dotting all the T's for the ownership of the Burbis River Bridge. And based upon the figures that I've been looking at, what it will be costing the Treasury for the acquisition of the bridge would be less than if we had to pay tolls between now and next year, based upon the figures that I'm looking at. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable
That's all I would say
Minister.
for now.
Honorable Member, Ms. Swetnam.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Line item 6302. I have a very special interest in training, as we need personnel that are up to par. Can the Honorable Minister please state the nature of the training to be associated with this sum, and who are the target audience?
Everything. OSHA,
Honorable Minister.
engineering training, project management, especially
It's-
occupational health and safety,
But deal with things like occupational health and safety, project management, human resource management, general equipping staff in the various departments that fall under this program to ensure that at all material times we are at the cutting edge and we are seriously being able to execute our task.
So, am I hearing you clearly? This is intended for your staff members?
Yes, it's only for staff members.
Okay. Look, Ms. Swetnam is here. I see you looking around.
I don't see where they.
Right here. Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
Right here.
Yes.
Yes.
All the training, whether in program 1, program 2, specifically staff. The ministers don't go and train. The ministers attend conferences and meetings, not training.
And remove cars off the road too. Thank you.
That requires some Honorable Member, Mr. Q's Sharma.
Thank you very much, Comrade. Mr. Chair, just to the Honorable Minister on the matter of the bridges that we spoke about. The Mackenzie-Wismar Bridge, which falls under the Bridge Act, there is a relationship of revenue sharing between the government and the municipality. Just for some clarity from the minister, I know that it is good to see provisions in place for those staff, but is there any consideration for the act which provides for that relationship of remitting revenues, which is now going to be taken away, or free toll? What becomes of that arrangement for the revenue sharing within that provision of the Act, 5104?
Mr. Chair, the honorable members asked a very interesting question, and if he wants me to spend the rest of the hour on this, we can go ahead. This bridge, the Mackenzie-Wismar Bridge that he's talking about, it falls under the Bridge Act. And there was supposed to be a certain amount of expenditure that goes to the mayor and town council of Linden. Is a bridge that had to be funded wholly for its operations and maintained by NISIL. Totally by NISIL. When they were unable to fix this bridge, NISIL had to step in and fix the bridge. NISIL paid the staff. Not one square meter of board or one rod of iron was ever provided by the Mayor and Town Council of this bridge. So the gentleman who served as mayor of Linden ought to have known that as well. But what was happening is that they were getting a percentage going to the council for social services and all the rest of it. And if I channel the honorable member to tell the House how much of that money that was given to the Mayor and Town Council was spent on social services, the answer will be zero. And we will also have to have a discussion on the toll that is being charged every truck that is going into Linden, and they have not repaired 1 meter of road in the township. We'll also have to have that conversation.
Thank you.
As far as I know, the government of Guyana will honor whatever were the obligations that NISIL was undertaking in terms of cash. The government of Guyana will make that money available to NISIL. NISIL and the Mayor and Town Council will work out their issues from there. But I thought I'll also be able to put that in perspective.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That
Minister,
we will
go
be
ahead,
having our
honorable member.
remittance. Yeah, I won't want that.
Honorable members,
Won't want
I
that.
now put a question. There is sum stated for Agency 31. Program 312, current expenditure, stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. The sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Can we turn to pages 526 and 527? Stated for Agency 31, Program 312 stands part of the estimates. The honorable member, Mr. Psycho Andrews.
Mr. Chair, project code 1404000, provision for provision for bridges and payment of retention order, reference 109. There's a provision for construction of the Berbice and Quarantine River bridges. My question to the Honorable Minister is, what sum specifically is allocated to the Berbice River Bridge? And what would it be used for?
Honorable Minister.
I will direct the gentleman back to his project code, and he will see that under a line item specific refers to foreign funding. Local is what comes from the consolidated fund. And you will see a sum there under specific, and that would have to do with expenditure anticipated in relation to the Berbice River Bridge for 2026.
Thank you very much.
Honorable Member, Dr. Richards.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have one question for the Honorable Minister of Public Works under Project Code 1240-900, Infrastructural Development. My question is there any consideration for the potential pavement of the Linden to Kokwani road corridor in this allocation?
What project code you said?
1240-900, Infrastructural Development.
1214-900. That would not be under this project, sir.
It wouldn't be?
Wrong account you're looking at.
Okay, for a follow-up, is there any consideration for the pavement of that road corridor, sir.
Which road corridor?
Yes, Linden to Kokwani road corridor. I noticed there's some work started from the Linden sector going into the mines, but for the entire corridor.
Mr. Chair, I'll answer the honorable member by letting him know that there are different categories of roads that exist in our country. We have what is called hinterland roads, fair weather roads. The entire stretch from Linden to Lethem was a fair weather road. Government, because of its connectivity agenda with South America and the movement in terms of opening up Guyana for business, have moved that road from a fair weather road. We've started the first lot into asphaltic concrete. We are building a road from Oriala to Kokwani, which is going to be completed the last 20 kilometers this year. That's a fair weather road. Kokwani to Aichuni has always been what is called a mining road. We are now upgrading that mining road to ensure it could come to a state to deal with the traffic, and more particularly with the smaller vehicles because of the population in the area. We have not reached that stage yet of going into what will be called an asphaltic concrete road of a similar nature like what is happening now at Linden to Mabura. We're not there yet.
Thank you.
Honorable Member, Ms. Swetnam.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Line item 1903400, Ghana Restoration Project. Can the Honorable Minister please highlight some of the areas earmarked for this project? Or if he's willing to lay over the document?
Honorable Minister.
There'll be no need to lay over. You will
Thank
see
you.
that the amounts allocated has been the same for several years.
I just need a couple of the areas, sir.
Yes. This caters for 170 staff that operates in several different communities that help to maintain road shoulders, that help to maintain community centers, government office complexes. It includes the purchase of their tools, their twine for their brush cutter, or the string, sometimes they call it, and all the rest of it.
Thank you, Minister.
Thank you.
Follow up. Honorable Member, Mr. Mahipal.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, 1601,000 stellings. They allocated some there, $2,740,712,000. Can the Honorable Minister please disaggregate the figure and say what is the sum associated with the work expected to be done at Parika Stelling and the work expected to be done at the Supernam Stelling?
Honorable Minister.
Sure, Mr. Chair, the honorable member will be aware that the Parika, what we call the Parika Stelling, is being built into what will be soon known as the Parika Port and Terminal. We have designated monies in this year budget. $68 million will be for yes. We got $68 million that will be for the designs. We have 3 lots, lot 1, lot 2, and lot 3 that is already ongoing at Parika. Lot 4 will be approximately $300 million. We have to deal with the access roads and the parking apron out there at Parica, there's going to be about 110 million. And the putting in of the vehicular scales, and approximately 120 million. The administrative building and waiting area and marshalling shelter, 150 million. So about 700 plus million would be spent at Parica in 2026, and about $500 million at Supernam. Supernam is becoming a hot spot, and the people of Essequibo are very pleased with the level of connectivity that they're enjoying, but the facilities there are aging, and we have to get the catwalk fixed. As a matter of fact, I think, Mr. Chairman, there will be 2 days of this week, Thursday and Friday of this week, Friday and Saturday of this week, when we will not be able to operate the roll-on ferries. We'll only be able to do sideboarding, and those are 2 days that we have to take out to repair the Lingspan Bridge that is damaged. So we have to be able to get things done there. We want to expand the northern section of the ferry docking terminal, and the general upgrade of what we're doing at Supernam, and you will see those designs. So it is divided with just about $720+ million Parica to continue what is already started, and Supernam about $500 million. That's where we are.
Thank you, Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. May I engage the Honorable Minister on Project Code 2700500, reference reconditioning of ferry vessels. There's a sum here of $570 million, and under the description, it tells us the project entails provision for vessels and spares. May I ask the Honorable Minister if we are purchasing a new vessel or more than one vessels, and if so, where will these vessels be plying?
Honorable Minister.
Reconditioning of ferry vessels don't include purchasing vessels. This is about docking and spares for the maintenance of the vessels.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable Member,
Thank you,
Mr.
Mr.
Mahipal,
Chairman.
I see time running, and
Thank you, Chair.
the leader up in the House had his mic on. So he's passing. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Honorable Member, Ms. Williams.
Me, Mr. Speaker.
Don?
Thank you, Chair. I would like to turn our attention to Project Code 1405200, Hinterland Roads. At a glance of this budget, I see a summary of $10 billion allocated for the Hinterland Roads. Can the Honorable Minister be kind enough to say to us, or to give us a breakdown of how much of this will be spent on completion of roads, how much will be spent on the construction of new roads, and how much will be spent on rehabilitation?
Honorable Minister.
So we have roads that are currently under construction. The Honorable Member is fully aware of that. So from this amount, to complete those that have already been engaged in a multi-year project for 2025-2026, the rollover sums will, for roads in regions 1, 7, 8, 9, and 10, will be $3.15 billion. In terms of new roads, whether it's regions 1, region 6, which would include the Oriala waterfront and bridge, and 1 kilometer of rigid pavement road in the Oriala area. In region 7, in key corridors that we have to do work, Bartoko-Pataru Road, miles 2 to 3, we're doing 1 kilometer of rigid pavement concrete. 5 miles housing scheme, another 2 kilometers of rigid pavement concrete, Mora Camp, another kilometer of asphaltic roads, rehabilitation of Dock Point main access road, 900 meters of concrete road. A total of 235 projects spanning 1, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And the new works that we're talking about, the amount will be 6,489,849,716,000. But there were 235 projects spread between 1, 7, 8, 9, and I told you about the 10, Oriala.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, Honorable
Mr. Chair.
Member, Mr. Andrews.
Mr. Chair.
Honorable Member, Ms. Dawn Hastings Williams, you had a follow-up?
Yes, thank you.
Okay,
Thank you
Mr.
for
Andrews,
that,
just hold that. Let's take her first.
Thank you, Minister. Taking into consideration, especially these roads in remote areas, in our remote hinterland, and you know, we have, in terms of their logistics, their terrain, weather, and all these things, what risk mitigation or strategies has the ministry adopted to prevent like cost overruns and delays? We had an experience with like perimeter airstrip, so I'm asking what strategies do you have in place in case of...
Well, I can tell you what we have to deal with. The reality, I don't know about cost overruns. We're dealing with delays. And delays is basically because of rain. But the government's policy that is driving hinterland development have seen simultaneous implementation of projects and of a high quality. Because what we are doing, government is providing the materials in many of these projects, and we are hiring the labor from the communities, bringing economic advancement in those communities and training new people with new skills. I mean, a lot of these concrete roads, 60, 70 persons in the community are working on them, and we're doing several at the same time. The challenges that we would have had is rain. We have been able, like for example in Madhya, when we had challenges with stone, we went out and stockpiled the stone in Madhya to ensure that we could execute. Region 1, there's a consideration of a similar nature. But if there's anything that every member of this National Assembly should be proud of, and we should reduce our anxiety for criticism because it has a very serious consequence, is the level of participation and development that is coming to hinterland communities. In a lot of these communities, people have said things like, why are you building the road here? And you start so. The people said, let's build the road in the areas where the schools, the health center, the ICT hub, because of the dust issue. When some of the children went to the hot meals program, the dust was actually there. So we build the roads in the center, and then we're spreading out and going out to the ends. In the big villages in Region 9, where there's access to machinery to do asphalt, which is faster, we have been able to do that in several villages in Region 9 as well. So every member of this house who travel Guyana, the one thing we could be sure about is seeing the level of development in the hinterland and the participation of the people in that developmental process. And I think the Hinterland Roads Program is one of the programs that we should be very, very proud about, all of us in this National Assembly. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chair, I want to go back to 1,404,000. So we're going to back to the quarantine, the bridges. We are aware that Suriname, we have this issue with Suriname claiming ownership of the quarantine of the river, right? So my question to the minister is, with regards to the arrangement, how is this project going to be split? How is it going to be apportioned, the expenses? And when it comes to maintenance, how would it be apportioned, revenue, and all of these things, and ownership stake. And given the fact that there's this dispute, which country's law would take precedent over this project? Because we're pursuing this project, and these are some of the things that we need to know. What is going to be our ownership stake? What is going to be our contribution? What is going to be Surinam's? Who's going to, all of these things. Can you, in a nutshell, give us an understanding of what is going on with those issues?
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chair, there is no allocation for the Quarantine River Bridge under this code that the gentleman is, and I would offer to him, we could have that discussion on a television program or at not a forum, because I can say as the Minister of Public Works that I've advanced the project. With the Surinamis, none of the issues that this distinguished gentleman has asked has ever arrived. We have gone together. Guyana and Suriname has gone together. We have got the consultancy for the design. We went together. We have evaluated. We have a preferred contractor. We have gone together. They have, none of the issues that the distinguished gentleman arose has ever been an issue that is on the table when it comes to the Quarantine River Bridge between Guyana and Suriname. So I will not venture into that way.
I would just...
Honorable Member Mr. Andrews, we have the Honorable Chief Whip with her mic on. We have the Honorable Member, Mr. La Cruz.
Mr. Speaker, just, would you permit me?
We have zero here, so it's hard for me to permit you.
Mr. Speaker, okay. Go ahead.
Time is
Go ahead,
not
Chief.
up. I really appreciate all the good people who are keeping time with me, because we have 8 minutes saved from yesterday, so that is carried over. So we have 2:13 and 8. We can go as far as 2:21 on this head. Honorable Member, Chief Whip for the opposition.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Honorable Minister,
321, sorry.
I'm looking at line item 140, 4900. I'm vacillating between that and 140, 4200, where it's obvious now that they've started work on the Dennis Street. It appears as though they're going to be doing some rehabilitation work there. I'm trying to find out if that is on the 140, 4900.
Dennis Street.
Honorable Member, the answer is yes, and they have not just started work on Dennis Street. We are completing the work on Dennis Street. This Dennis Street and Duncan Street and Francois Avenue are arteries for connections between Sheriff Street and the extended Conversation Tree Road that we are moving to complete from Dennis Street to Francois Avenue. 4 lanes. So we had to upgrade Garnet Street, Dennis Street, Duncan Street, and Francois Avenue, so we could get traffic coming out and in through those connectors. It's part of the integrated network.
Thank you, sir. Just to follow up on that, I recognize that they're trying to get a 4-lane on both sides of the canal on Dennis Street, if I'm accurate based on what I'm seeing.
Dennis Street heading back
to
east.
Yes.
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 Dennis Street heading back east will be 4 lanes.
Thank you.
2
sir.
lanes on where the normal Dennis Street Road is right now, and 2 lanes north of the canal.
Thank you, sir. Sir, my question on this is, given the fact that you're working on both sides of the road, and you're also doing work in B Field, and there's some work going on in some parts of Sophia. I'm looking at the traffic as you attempt, because of what normally comes out in the morning from that area. People coming from the East Coast normally use that route, and Sophia. Whether there any system is being put in place as you go through that street, that people would be able to be facilitated elsewhere to get out of that catchment area in the mornings and coming back in the afternoon. You know, it's a lot of heavy traffic there right now.
Honorable Member, the choke point of the traffic at Dennis Street is where there's a 2-lane bridge at Eastern Highway. That's the choke point. So the first thing the government of Guyana would have done is to start the project to make the 4-lane bridge at Eastern Highway. which has started. In order for me to get that bridge moving a little faster, I will have to give some outages, because you will see the transmission lines and the distribution lines for the driving of the piles. So it's mixing development and minimizing inconvenience that has held us to where we are. We're working with GPL on that. So once we get that 4-lane bridge completed at the Eastern Highway, the choke point is taken care of. You would have realized that where we have the Ramakrishna School at Milton Street, we just did a little geometric improvement to that bridge, and the traffic is now flowing there. And I think we should commend our engineers and our professionals that we have in the Ministry of Public Work, who is constantly looking at ways and means of improving the commute of our people. We have work going on in B field, we have work going on in E field. But now that we have work going on in B field and in E field, you can go straight through C field, get back to the B field, bridge over the blocker. You could come out at Aubrey Barker, or you can go all the way down to town. All the concrete roads, all the connectivity is already in place. And if there's a place that I've seen massive improvements of their road infrastructure, that place is Sophia in Georgetown.
Let us take the honorable member, Mr. LaCruz, and then we'll have to put all the remaining heads.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Thank you. I have a question to ask on the line item 1405200, Hinterland Roads. Can the Honorable Minister say which road he intend to construct in Region 1? The new roads I'm talking about.
Continuation.
Honorable Minister.
Well, the honorable member will be pleased to know that the continuation of the linking of the road between Maruka and Quibana, that 26 kilometers of road, is one of the roads that you're interested in, and it will be completed.
Thank you, sir.
You will also be happy to know, because you live there, that the Rincon Road, which was causing some problem, are being done by the Ministry Special Project Unit with some of your own colleagues working on that project. So you would be happy to know that. We are continuing 1 kilometer of concrete road going up to Quibana, and we're doing 1 kilometer from Quibana coming out. And why is that? I hear a lot that was said in the debate about free, prior, and informed consent. The people who live in Quibana says, if you are coming like this, it can take forever to reach us. So work this side and work that side. And the government, as a faithful servant of the people, putting people first, have listened to the people, and we're working from both ends. And while we're working from both ends, we have put out 4 maintenance contracts to ensure that the section that is not being constructed is also maintained, and you'll be happy to know that the villages are part of the maintenance of those roads as well. So if you want to know what's happening in Region 1, and of course, Region 1 is not just Maruka. We have the Matakai sub-district, we have the Mabaruma sub-district, and we are continuing work in Matthews Ridge, in Port Kaituma. Arakaka has got their concrete road. Mabaruma is almost saturated. We got a couple, I heard some people calling the name of some hills that needs to be addressed. All of that is coming on board.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable members, I now have to put the question that the sum stated for Program 312 Capital in Agency 31, Program 313 Current and Capital, that these 3 sums now stand part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against say no. No. The ayes have it. The sum stated for these 3 heads now stand part of the estimates. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister and your staff. And you know I have a soft spot for the Special Projects Unit.
Mr. Chairman, please permit me to thank my technical team at the Ministry of Public Works, and to also acknowledge and salute my cabinet colleague, the Honorable Manalal Ramaraj for the support that he's been lending to me as the Minister of Public Works, and the entire work services group. Sometimes we only see the people on the street, but there are people who are in the designs, in the labs, who are doing the testing, the auditors, to ensure quality control, to ensure that we deliver value for money, and also the indefatigable team of the Special Projects Unit that has been giving remarkable service to the people of Guyana, responding in the swiftest and soonest manners as emergencies arise. So please allow me as the Minister of Public Works to thank my team. And we are prepared to work with all members of this House on any issue that may be arise at any time in the national interest, while government pursues its national development priorities. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
As you open that, please, the railway embankment where Middleton Street is,
Yes.
you know, we need to expand that little, not the median, it's where we go over the railway track. It's breaking away from the edges almost 1/3 from the western side.
The entire Milton Street.
No, but just do that piece, because every morning you have a bottleneck there.
We'll get it fixed for you by tomorrow morning, sir. My Special Projects Unit is listening. I'm serious, they will fix it before tomorrow morning.
It's for the other 1,000 drivers who pass there every day.
But we are going to be fixing that entire area.
Yes.
And pushing in a green park, well, a green space. You know, we have moved out all the trucks and all the junk and everything. The people must have their community to enjoy, and we be able to keep moving on it. So,
congratulations, Honorable Great Bishop Juan Edghill, Minister of Public Works. Honorable members, let us invite the Honorable Minister of Labour and Manpower Planning, the Honorable Keoma Griffith, and his staff of the Ministry of Labour and Manpower Planning. Ministers, you're taking this by yourself, I see.
It's me alone.
Thank you very much. Honorable members?
My team is entering, sir. They're coming down. Just allowing the...
Honorable members, let us turn to pages 198 and 199.
Mr. Chair, just a few more of my technical officers are entering, sir.
Honorable members, we have to bear with our ministers and the staff. Because of the limited space, we have had to do a section outside with a television so that the other staff members who are waiting can follow the proceedings. My Paul, you're missing a few pages again? I think it was my Paul book and he switched it, you know. You have a few more staff coming, Minister?
We can proceed, Mr. Chair.
Proceed?
Yeah.
While we wait.
The others will fall in. They won't
haven't been able to see the Honorable, your Labor, Occupation, Safety and Health Officer Prandat since the passing of his nephew, family. The guy killed on the bridge with a cement truck. One of the relations is here with us. Okay, honorable members, I propose the question that the sum stated for Agency 38, Ministry of Labor and Manpower Planning, Program 381, current expenditure stands part of the estimates. The honorable member, Dr. Campbell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through you to the Honorable Minister, line item 6116, contracted employees, has increased from 83 million, about 500,000, to 114,500,000. I have a two-part question. One, even if I add 8% to that, it takes me to 90 million. And then I have a difference of 24 million. But when I look down at line item 6116, the breakdown of the staff in details for contracted employees, it only increases by 1. Could the Honorable Minister say what is the salary and designation for that single contracted employee?
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Honorable Member, for the question. Under 6116, there are 4 persons who have been employed, which is the reason for the increase. We have employed 1 deputy permanent secretary who is acting in the role of permanent secretary, as well as 1 personal assistant, 1 public relations officer, and 1 system support officer.
A follow-up, sir.
Go ahead, honorable member.
You're saying that you're increasing by 4 from 2025. If you look on the right side, it says you're only increasing by 1. 27 going to 28. If you look at the staff in detail, sir.
Sir, as I said, we've hired 4 persons, and that is the reason for the increase.
Respectfully, sir, so the record here is incorrect? Because it says 27, 2025, and 28, 2026, which is just 1. I'm okay if you say it's 4. We can move on.
Honorable Minister.
I can confirm that it's 4, sir.
So the record is wrong.
Well,
he is going to confirm.
Okay.
My experience with the numbers here, the book tends to be accurate, and sometimes you do have changes. You may have 3 retire, so 4 hired, but the net effect is 1.
Sorry, which program are you looking at, Mr. Campbell?
6116.
In program 2 or?
For Policy Development and Administration.
81.
The very first program.
Program 1?
Yes. Pages 198 and 199 is on the agenda and read out by the chairman.
Okay.
Right.
Go ahead, honorable member, Mr. Campbell.
Thank you, sir. In relation to to those 4, I am wondering, sir, I know there's been a lot of talk about manpower planning and so on. And it was, I think, I noticed that there's 1 foreign country even offering to help. I am wondering if these contracted employees are involved in preparing a manpower plan for Guyana going forward, and if so, when we can expect that plan to be made public.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Honorable Member, for the question. As was highlighted during the debates, Budget 2026 will see the establishment of a national manpower agency that will seek to look at all of the needs and an assessment of the labor market in an effort to meet all of the manpower needs of the labor force in Guyana. So that is certainly within the works. We'll see the rollout within this year's budget.
Follow up, sir.
Thank you, Minister. Go ahead, Mr. Campbell.
Very specifically, will there be a manpower plan? Will it be made public? And if so, when?
Minister?
There will be a gap analysis conducted to see what are the loopholes, the needs. Will it be made available? It's going to be a public document, so it will be made available, and it's going to be commenced within the period of 2026. That's as much as I can say.
Thank you, sir.
Nandrani Singh.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, line item 6242, there is an almost triple increase in the maintenance of buildings. Can the minister please state the reason for that? Thanks.
Honorable Minister.
So there is, the increase is due because of the remodeling of the minister's secretariat. And so, well, of course, this is all because of the direction in which the public service is going in relation to government efficiency and the digitization of the entire public service. There has been a necessity for certain remodeling to be done so that when members of the public visit the ministry, all of the digital platforms are rolled out so that they can have access to the minister and to the services of the ministry with comfort.
Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable Member, Ms. Sarabo Hali.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, you would probably recall that we have an ongoing conversation with Labor every year. I will continue.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
I was speaking with the chair, but yes, the question for the minister, you mentioned the labor market survey and finding the gaps. If I can recall, there was a consultant that was on board over the last 5 years that was supposed to be attempting to put this together and have a report in Parliament once he was completed. So I'm wondering if this, after having that consultant on board, I don't think the consultant is any longer with that ministry, if you're now restarting what was already done over the last 5 years, because you're saying you're now going to be doing the labor market survey and finding the gaps.
I can't speak to what the consultant has done. I have never met him, nor have I didn't have the opportunity of speaking with him or so. But I can only speak to what will be done with this new direction within which the ministry is going. And I can say that all of the necessary information will be garnered through the manpower skills gap that we will conduct.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Honorable Member, Ms. Singh, you wanted to follow up?
No, Mr. Chair, I have a question on another line item.
Go ahead.
It's line item 6281, security. Mr. Chair, I'm seeing that figure has just about doubled. If the minister can kindly say why and which security services is being used by the ministry, please.
Sorry, I didn't hear the back end of the question.
I'm asking the reason for the almost double in the security charges and which security companies is the ministry using.
So we have 3 security companies that we have been using. iSecure Security Services Inc., Queensway Security Services Inc., and Panther Security Services Inc. And the reason for the increase, we continue to expand the work within which we're doing and taking it into all of the regions, and so more facilities will require more security for the ministry.
Thank you, Minister.
Thank you, Honorable Member, Mr. Saiko Andrews.
No, Mr. Speaker, that was the question I had.
Honorable Member, I had Saiko and there was another microphone I saw on the APNU side, no? Honorable Member, Mr. Rabohali.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Honorable Minister. I wanted to follow up to what you said initially. I understand that you were not aware of the consultant, but a lot of money was spent on what the consultant was doing. And there should at least be a report in the ministry to help you so that you're not reinventing the wheel. So you probably should look at that. But outside of that, I'm wondering, based on where the country is right now, I'm seeing here that on the volume 2, it has develop, implement, and disseminate labor policies. Based on where the country is going right now and the fact that we are how many years in oil and gas and all the other expansion that has been going on, whether or not and also with the BIT program, what is currently guiding the government as it relates to training to prepare persons for the work that would be required in public service and in the private sector?
So,
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Honorable Member, for the question. This is exactly why the element of manpower planning has been created and added to the Ministry of Labor, specifically by His Excellency, so that with all of the transformation that Guyana is seeing, that we can properly place our people to be a part of the transformation. So far, we are guided by experience in terms of the programs we have offered, but we are also guided by the people. When we visit the communities and we consult with the people and we hear what their needs are and we engage in consultations with them, we're guided by the skills needs in the varying communities. And of course, it's also guided by the manifesto that we have and the promises that we made to the people.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable members, I now put a question that is sum stated for Agency 38, Program 381. Current expenditure stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. The sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Let us turn to page 531. And I propose a question that the sum stated for Program 381, capital expenditure, stands part of the estimates. I now put a question that the sum stated for Program 38, 381, capital, Agency 38, stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. The sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Let us turn back to pages 200 and 201. And I propose a question that the sum stated for Program 382, Labor Administration Services Current Expenditure, stands part of the estimates. The Honorable Member, Mr. Campbell.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Again, through you to the Honorable Minister, line item, line item 6116, contracted employees, again has a significant increase. And on the staffing details, we see that it's increased by 8. Can the Minister give us a breakdown of the 8 contracted employees, their designations, please? And maybe salaries if that's possible.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Honorable Member. The reason for the increase in the line is the employment of 8 occupational health, safety and health officers so that there can be a representation in all of the regions, and 1 labor officer, each at the salary of $161,902.
Thank you.
Member Ms. Singh.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, line item 6321 on page 491, local subsidies. Mr. Chair, I'm seeing last year $4 million was budgeted for National Advisory Council on Occupational Health and Safety, but that was not used. Can the minister, and I'm seeing another $4 million is budgeted this year again, can the minister please advise if that council is active?
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for the question, Honorable Member. At this point in time, the council has not been reconstituted at this point in time.
Thank you, Minister.
Mr. Chair, follow up?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Do you have, Honorable Minister, any idea when that council might become active?
It's intended for it to be done within this period, within 2026.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable Member, Mr. Rupnarain. You finished, Honorable Member Ms. Singh? You have another question? Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Line item 6322. I noticed that last year's budget was allocated $4 million. This year it's given a 350% increase. Can the Honorable Minister indicate what has contributed to that increase?
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Honorable Member. This allocation goes specifically to the International Labor Organization, and the cost for the payment is as a request of the ILO, and so they would send to us the amount which we're required to pay. And so that is why there is that increase.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable Member Ms. Singh.
Thank you, Chairman.
Sorry, Mr. Pandey. Ms. Singh is on it.
Follow up on the line item about the National Advisory Council. Honorable Minister, if that council is not active, and I believe I heard you just mention that some occupational safety and health officers were hired, and if the council is not active, who is